Hey, Kyle's wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's NJPW G Night or G1 Night 10 from August 2nd, 2022. So we're live from Hamamatsu, Japan, as the league phase of G1 Climax 32 enters its second half. We'll see 5 more critical league matches tonight, and we'll get through the preliminary tag matches, which there will be 4 of first. So we start out with a good 2-on-2 tag match here. Big heavyweight tag match action starts off proceedings this evening as TMDK face United Empire. Both Jeff Cobb and JONAH picked up big wins over the weekend, and are feeling good heading into their collision this Friday in Matsuyama. So perhaps the biggest collision of the tour is forthcoming. Who will set the pace tonight? So this is a good match. TMDK has been picking up wins over Team Filthy, but a win here might get the K9 Connection, the second heavyweight team of TMDK, and invite the World Tag League. So this is a big match. Kevin Kelly is alone on commentary, but will have Lance Archer after the intermission for all the G1 League matches later on. So we start this evening out with the music of Jeff Cobb, and he comes out with Henare. Just the two of them tonight, as Great Khan and Osprey have league matches. So out next is TMDK's K9 Connection, JONAH and Bad Dude Tito. JONAH and Jeff Cobb have a huge league match this Friday, which is the next event. So no Wednesday event this week. It will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday instead. JONAH and Jeff Cobb start the match, and they tie up, having almost a sumo wrestling match to start out here. So Cobb is able to hang with the much heavier JONAH, and that's going to be a great match on Friday. Both men now tag out. Henare now hits a nasty springboard kick on knocking Bad Dude silly. Already Bad Dude Tito's knocked silly here. Henare turns to attack JONAH on the apron, but this allows Tito to attack from behind and knock Cobb off the apron as well. So Tito then gets Henare into the TMDK corner, and JONAH tags in. Henare hits a nasty body punches, but the body of JONAH is way too big and absorbs those nasty body punches. Henare now tries to fight out of the TMDK corner, but gets splashed by the big JONAH. Tito now tags in and hits a springboard senton. Henare fires up and absorbs strikes while he gets fired up and hits a big kick to Tito's face. So Jeff Cobb now tags in. He quickens the pace here, hitting a big shoulder tackle. Cobb surfs on Tito while staring over at JONAH, who's getting mad on the outside. Cobb now hits a running vertical suplex with ease on the really large Tito. That looked awesome. Henare now tags in and knocks JONAH off the apron so they can double team Tito, ending with a Samoan drop from Henare and a standing moonsault from Cobb. JONAH gets in to break up this pin and then tags in himself. Cobb and JONAH have a forearm battle that turns into a lariat battle. Neither man can find advantage, so they try headbutts now, and both men get knocked down. Both men were able to tag out, however. Henare now fires up again and starts another striking battle. Tito hits some quick kicks to win this little exchange, but Henare gets right up, hit his nasty striking combo that has Tito in trouble now, and Henare knows it, so he hits Streets of Rage for the 1-2-3. So your winners by pinfall are the United Empire, Jeff Cobb, and Henare. So this is an even better United Empire heavyweight tag team than Cobb and the Great Khan, in my opinion. I would love to see them switch it up and maybe have Khan wrestle in singles and Cobb and Henare team going forward. That would be cool to see. Anyway, pretty good match to open us up here. And Cobb goes over the commentary and says on Friday, United Empire will go 3-0. And Henare says Naito better open his eye because his fist is going through his liver. So that was Henare fighting Naito this Friday. Jeff Cobb then intimidates the Young Lions, Nakashima and Oiwa before leaving. And Hanare's music's great. Plus, Hanare's improved so much since he's been bulking up since springtime. A lot of guys drop weight for G1, but Hanare's bulked up, and it's added a lot of power to his strikes and slams. The only thing holding Henare back right now is his Achilles heel or his Achilles tendon. So, second match of the night, 8-man tag match. We'll see Suzuki-gun meeting House of Torture in Hamamatsu. It was a weekend for Suzuki-gun to forget after Zack Sabre Jr. was defeated by Tanahashi despite his hand being under the ropes on Saturday. Lance Archer made the team 0-2 on Sunday after a war with Jeff Cobb. So things weren't any better for House of Torture, as Evil also his plans to ruin Naito's summer were dashed. So before Evil meets Zack Sabre Jr. on August 10th in Hiroshima, an 8-man tag sees them looking to get back on track here. So House of Torture come out the Evil's music, full lineup tonight. Evil, Dick Togo, Yujiro, Takahashi, and Show. Then Archer's music plays as Lance Archer storms down to the ring by himself. It'll be interesting to hear Archer on commentary later for sure. Then Taka Michinoku, Taichi, and Zack Sabre Jr. follow. Both teams jump each other to start the match, and that leaves poor Show in the ring all alone with Lance Archer, who is 3 times his size. So uh, Archer knocks out Show with one punch, and Dick Togo just magically replaces Show. Archer now makes fun of Dick Togo's height, but Togo's able to poke a finger in the eye. Archer grabs his head, but shows a little bit of mercy here. Togo wants to tag out, but all of House of Torture drop off the apron, leaving Togo to get choke slammed hard by Archer. Archer tags in Taichi, and Taichi makes the cover. Togo's just barely able to kick out. Taichi and Togo grab each other's ears now until Taichi ends up in the House of Torture corner. They all start attacking Taichi. That causes Suzuki-gun to run over, and an 8-man brawl ensues, which of course House of Torture win. They always win the outside the ring brawl. A triple team on Taichi back in the ring now, and Evil uses a t-shirt across the throat to get a 2 count. Show now tags in, and we are in Show's hometown tonight, but nobody is cheering for Show. Show is one of the most hated men in New Japan, so Show doesn't seem to care. He hits a couple attacks and tags in Yujiro, who hits a big Yakuza kick on Taichi. Taichi then blocks the Fisherman Buster attempt and hits a nasty Kamaguri kick. So both men now tag out. Zack Sabre Jr. and Evil are in, and Zack hits a few people off the apron and reverses an abdominal, or Zack reverses the abdominal stretch, and Dick Togo accidentally helps to give Zack leverage against Evil, something we've seen a few times. That's always a funny spot. They counter each other now back and forth until Zack gets a triangle choke, maybe an armbar. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but Zack was getting the better of it. Evil was able to use his power advantage to stand up and get out of the hold. Now Dick Togo trips Zack from outside the ring, and Show tags in. Show's bleeding from the mouth in his hometown here. I don't know what happened, but Zack's able to counter Show and tag in Taka Michinoku. Show bites Taka, but Taka pokes in the eyes. 2 guys that like to cheat here. They quicken the pace now in some junior heavyweight action as Taka gets the just face lock applied, but Togo runs in to break the hold, and Taka throws Togo out. The former Kai and Tai members that I used to watch on Raw back in like 1998, having a little fight here. Then super kick on Show from Taka gets a 2 count. Taka locks just face lock again as a brawl ensues on the outside that I'm not quite sure what happened, but Taka and the referee were distracted here, and this allows Show to grab his wrench, hitting Taka in the head for the 1-2-3. So the winners of this match by pinfall, House of Torture. So then Dick Togo gets chased around the ring by Archer, but is able to get away, and Evil sits in the ring telling Zack Sabre Jr. to come in, but Zack doesn't. Show now gets the pinfall in his hometown, and only a few, maybe 5 or 6 people clapped to his music. Otherwise, it was complete silence in his hometown here. But I do love Show's music, by the way. And also, I miss Yo. Why couldn't Yo have been in some of these tag matches? Yo's hot tag offense has been some of the best in the world lately, as we've seen on the New Japan road shows leading up to Yo pinning Show to win the never 6-man tag titles with Goto and YOSHI-HASHI. So I wonder what Yo's been up to. Maybe he was on the New Japan Strong shows with some of the other junior heavyweights, or maybe he's just trying to heal up some of the injuries from Best of the Super Juniors and then winning the 6-man tags. But hope to see Yo again soon. Our next match, we got 6-man tag match. Bullet Club versus Los Ingobernables de Japon, and Naito finally has his summer on track after his first win on Sunday, but still is sitting 1-2 in a precarious position, as does his partner Shingo Takagi tonight. Opposite side of the ring, Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale are coming off of weekend losses and want to get that back on form, while El Phantasmo just needs a tune-up. He's got a huge break with a condensed schedule to come with the final nights of league. Him and YOSHI-HASHI both have 4 matches in the final 10 days of block action. So Bullet Club come out first to the original Bullet Club music here, and not the new DX version that Jay White comes out to. So Bad Luck Fale seemingly likes the original version better, and he will captain the team tonight. alongside. So it's Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, and El Phantasmo. Then Bushi getting his own entrance, being a benefit of being an LIJ. Then Shingo and Naito follow. So ELP and Shingo are going to start this match. And they met in the 6-man tag match at Forbidden Door pay-per-view that Shingo won with Darby Allin and Sting as the dudes with attitudes. So Shingo now absorbs some shoulder tackles and hits one of his own, and ELP keeps the pace quick here and gets the better of Shingo with his quickness, and ELP evades the attacks here, but Shingo evades right back and hits a hip toss on ELP. So Naito now tags in, and along with Bushi coming in, they triple team ELP for a 2 count. ELP is able to evade the combination Cabron, but ELP tries the back rake, but Naito has his shirt on, so it's not effective. So ELP lifts the shirt up, and now we're reminded that Naito got his back all cut up in that table at the last event against Evil in the main event. So the back rake here from ELP looked extra nasty on the cut up back. Now Naito gets caught in the Bullet Club corner, and they use quick tags to isolate and double team Naito here. The crowd claps loudly for Naito to fight back, so he does, hitting some strikes on Fale, but Fale is able to overpower Naito and get him back in the Bullet Club corner. Now Chase tags in, and Naito hits some strikes, but Chase hits another back rake on that cut up back of Naito. Naito counters the next move, however, and then is able to tag in Bushi. Immediately, Bushi runs right into a knee of Fale from the apron, but Bushi's able to fight off a double team attempt here and hit a lung blower on Chase, but ELP comes in to break up the pin. Shingo now tries a DDT ELP, but ELP flips right through it, and that was awesome. ELP avoided any damage. That looked sweet. Now they're all brawling outside of the ring, and Chase is able to hit a package pile driver on Bushi for the 1-2-3. So your winners of this match by pinfall, Bullet Club. ELP then gets in Shingo's face. They will meet later in the G1 when ELP is having that four match in a 10-day flurry. Chase tries to sell Naito's t-shirt to the Young Lions, Fujita and Oiwa, but they say no. They're probably broke anyway, just working in the dojo and stuff. So at least Naito's back wasn't too cut up. Nothing like the nasty stuff we saw from Kenta. So next we've got 6-man tag action, Chaos versus Bullet Club, another Bullet Club represented here. So after 9 events, only 2 men can claim a perfect record in 3 matches going into their respective campaigns, and they're in opposite corners tonight, Okada and Jay White. So Okada was expecting an uphill climb to defeat Bad Luck Fale Sunday, while Jay White had to work a little harder than he predicted against Chase Owens. YOSHI-HASHI was also pushed hard Sunday and beat Juice Robinson in a really good match. So we get some fallout of that, all that from this match tonight. Okada's music now hits. YOSHI-HASHI leads the 2 legends out to the ring, Tanahashi followed by Okada. So this is a pretty good team right here. They would absolutely destroy the 6-man tag champs, which is Yo, Goto, and YOSHI-HASHI himself. So YOSHI-HASHI picking up a little bit of steam here. Now we get the new Bullet Club music as Juice leads Jay White and Gato to the ring. Jay's got pretty much passed his interfaction battle with Chase Owens without losing his cool, but all week before that, Jay was a crazed madman, not helped by the fact that Juice was also crazed after losing to David Finlay. So Jay White and Okada are both on track to meet in the finals at this point with their perfect records, and they'll meet again here in tag action on the G1 tour. Jay White now holds up the title right in Okada's face, then goes over and flexes with Tanahashi. He's in the mood to talk trash with the legends here. So Jay White is going to start the match with Okada, and Jay and Gator are yelling at Okada, frustrating the Rainmaker here, and Juice then comes in and attacks Okada from behind to start the match. Okada fights off a double team, but then Juice, when Okada evades, Juice accidentally hits Jay White. So here we go again with everyone in Bullet Club accidentally hitting Jay White. Then Okada hits a DDT on Jay White right after that, or maybe it was Juice, one of the two, but then tags in Tanahashi, and Tanahashi quickens the pace right away, hitting a springboard crossbody. Juice then pulls Tanahashi out of the ring from the outside, but Tanahashi is able to kick Juice right into the barricade and avoid getting pulled outside there. Sorry, he just got tripped down. Gato then pulls Tanahashi out of the ring, and Tanahashi throws Gato into the barricade hard, but Juice throws Tanahashi hard into the barricade as well. Bullet Club have now also taken out Okada and YOSHI-HASHI from the outside, and they mock Tanahashi about having no one to tag to. Bullet Club then use quick tags on Tanahashi. Gato throws him over the top rope, and Jay rams Tanahashi back first into the barricade 3 times in a row. So back in the ring now, Gato makes the pin, but Okada comes in to break it up, and then him and YOSHI-HASHI are now back on the apron, ready to tag in. Jay White tries to keep an arm hold on, but he hits big strikes when Tanahashi is about to get out, but Tanahashi is able to fight off a triple team attempt here and hits a double dragon screw leg whip on both Juice and Gato. So YOSHI-HASHI is able to get the tag now. He hits a corner lariat and then a big chop on Juice. YOSHI-HASHI did defeat Juice on Sunday and was hitting nasty big chops. So those chops on Juice's chest probably are still hurting from Sunday. These chops now can't feel too good. YOSHI-HASHI hits a few more of them, but Juice hits a nasty spine buster and he's able to tag out the Gato. Jay now comes in and so that Okada has to come help, and then a double team takes Jay out, and out of nowhere Tanahashi then hits a sling blade on Gato. So really fun match here. Right after this, YOSHI-HASHI applies the butterfly lock and he forces Gato to tap out. The winners of this match by submission are Chaos and Hiroshi Tanahashi. The only person with the title out of the 3 winners is YOSHI-HASHI, and Shingo was even making fun of Goto and YOSHI-HASHI for bringing the 6-man titles down out during G1 as if they were singles titles. And now here we see YOSHI-HASHI holding up the 6-man title next to Okada and Tanahashi. This is exactly what Shingo was talking about, how it's a weird look and it's a weird thing to parade around when you're not with your 6-man unit. So we get to hear a lot of YOSHI-HASHI's great music here while Tanahashi's thanking the crowd because we're about to go into intermission. So we got 5 league matches and Lance Archer on commentary coming up next. And to kick us off on the G1 matches tonight, it'll be in B block action. Tomohiro Ishii versus Great-O-Khan. Ishii comes in with a 1-2 record, and Great-O-Khan comes in with a 0-2 record. The singles record between the two is 1-0 to Ishii. So Ishii and Great-O-Khan are 2 competitors who cannot afford to take one more loss, effectively eliminating the loser of this match. So heading into the night with 0 points respectively for Great-O-Khan, and then Ishii does have the extra match, but we've already kind of decided that 3 losses is going to be almost too much to come back from, almost impossible. So the loser of this match will have a 3rd loss. So who will be able to come out with the win? Archer's already great on commentary. He brought little mini Hawk, the Lance Archer action figure that he posts things on social media with. So how does Archer act like the scariest and nicest guy in wrestling at the exact same time? Good stuff from Lance Archer. Great-O-Khan makes his entrance now. He does the more elaborate version of his entrance with all the zombie movements and stuff. But the look on O-Khan's face tells me that he's a little bit scared about this match against the hard-hitting Ishii. It definitely looks like O-Khan is a little bit intimidated coming into this match. Ishii now comes out next with the full version of his entrance as well, which causes, as you know, Ishii waits to come out for the first 30 seconds or so, and that's only going to unnerve O-Khan even more. So this is sure to be a hard-hitting battle, and O-Khan can't lose one. Neither man can lose, so this is going to be a good one. Ishii can smell the fear as soon as he enters the ring and gets right into the face of O-Khan, but to O-Khan's credit, he does not flinch. So O-Khan starts the match with an armbar, and O-Khan is going to look to use his size and reach advantage and his grappling skills with Ishii here at the start. So O-Khan is able to take it to the mat, but Ishii is like an armadillo going into its shell, kind of hard to grab any of his limbs. So O-Khan's forced to reset. They grapple again, and O-Khan gets on top as they take it to the mat. And again, Ishii is able to block any holds against them. So now Ishii is able to get on top of the grappling on the mat, but O-Khan gets to his feet and takes Ishii down right away with another armbar. Ishii able to get to the ropes, showing his power advantage there, getting to the ropes easily so far. Archer's very knowledgeable on commentary, breaking everything down. Great stuff by Archer. O-Khan now tries a quicker pace, but that was a little bit of a mistake. Ishii easily takes down O-Khan with a shoulder tackle, and Ishii already is paintbrushing the head of O-Khan to fire up O-Khan. You know how Ishii likes to do, big chops in the corner now do wake up Okan, and Ishii's able to take down Okan with a heel hook right after that. Khan is about to get out, but both men have been even about so far. Then a major forearm battle starts here. Both men were pretty even on the forearm battle, but Ishii walks right into a huge forearm that takes him down. Okan now tries to take control with some Mongolian chops, but Ishii counters right away with a suplex. Khan then gets right up, hits an arm drag. Ishii gets right up, hits a drop kick, and now Okan gets right up and hits a lariat. That was a great little flurry there. Both men are down on the mat recovering as the crowd claps. Pretty good match so far. The first act is now finished, where they were all they showed all the disciplines of pro wrestling, and they were all fairly even on all of them. So now we get to the second and final act. As they get up, Okan gets the sheep killer on, but only for a second or two. Ishii is able to get out, then hit a massive lariat that takes Okan down hard. But Okan's able to surprise Ishii by popping up to the ground real quickly and hitting a pump kick. Ishii then hits two more massive lariats, and Okan's just barely able to kick out at two at that. Now, this is what Okan was definitely scared about before the match. Ishii is really hard hitting here. Okan tries to fight back, but Ishii hits an enziguri kick, then a sliding lariat. But again, Okan is able to kick out. Both men now hit big headbutts. Well, neither will go down. Ishii's a little bit dazed though, and Okan hits a backbreaker into the sheep killer hold. But Ishii is about to get out, so Okan applies an iron claw. Ishii fights off the iron claw twice, but Okan hits a tombstone and then the eliminator for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, the Dominator, Great Okan. So pretty good match here. Very hard hitting. It had a lot of grappling, some fast paced stuff as well. Told a great story. Really good match. Love this opener for the G1 matches tonight. Great Okan now goes to 1-2, keeping his G1 chances alive, but will take on block leader Jay White next on the 6th, which every match from here on out for Great Okan is a must win. However, Ishii falls to 1-3, becoming the first person to wrestle 4 matches and also becoming the first person eliminated from this year's G1 Climax. Ishii will next take on Chase Owens as he'll take over the spoiler role in B block. So good match there. Good stuff to start us out. The next we go to the A block, the monster block, the same block that Archer's in. So Archer will be watching this closely, as it will be Toru Yano versus Filthy Tom Lawler. And Toru Yano comes in with a 1-2 record. Tom Lawler is 0-2, and this is their first singles match that they've ever been in together. So Tom Lawler made his pre-tournament threat that he will dominate the monster block, but has not been able to live up to that promise, going 0-2 after tough losses to both Lance Archer and Jonah. Lawler needs to put together results and fast if he wants to keep his hopes alive in this competitive monster block. Yano can also not afford to drop another result either, so that means we have a second match in a row where the loser will be eliminated. A second eliminator match in a row here. Tom Lawler now comes out first looking confident as ever, and Yano also looking confident, or at least at the very least not scared like he was against the other monsters. Tom Lawler, although is an MMA legit fighter, is the smallest man in the monster block. So I gotta imagine most people will be rooting for Tom in this match. And Tom takes his Daisy Dukes off to reveal shorter Daisy Dukes underneath. Yano was scared that Tom was going to be naked, so he was cowering in the corner. Tom now wants to trade DVDs with Yano. Tom bought not only Sister Act, but Sister Act 2. A 2-for-1 trade here. Yano accepts the trade, and Tom gets the Yano DVD. Now Yano gets the crowd to clap, but Tom has them clap in a different rhythm. And now I see that Royce Isaacs is on the outside. He was clapping with Tom as well. So they do this for a while. Archer makes fun of them, and then Yano pulls the wig off of Tom. So I haven't mentioned this yet, but Tom's hair was all puffy and weird, and almost like he had a perm or something weird was going on. But that was why. It was just a wig. So I guess Tom Lawler loves comedy wrestling because he brought a lot of props for this match against Yano, and that's pretty funny. I'm not a big comedy guy, especially in a G1, but this was kind of funny. So Yano now hits Tom a few times and throws Tom out of the ring. Now Yano takes his pants off and he reveals more pants underneath. So both have gotten together and planned out a funny match here. At this rate, I hope there's more, because at this rate, I'm still hoping there's more like funny gags, and I'm the kind of guy who usually doesn't like comedy in a serious setting. So Tom then takes down Yano with an armbar, but Yano's able to get to the ropes. 5 minutes have passed now, so Yano's struggling now and got hit in that armbar easily because his pants were tripping him. He wasn't able to get him off his ankle or around his ankles. So Yano rolls out of the ring to adjust his pants. Then Tom and Royce take their pants off to reveal more pants underneath. So Yano's now able to tie Royce to the barricade with his wrist tape. Tom then takes back his Sister Act DVDs while Yano wasn't looking. So Yano now takes the turnbuckle off, and Royce is free. And Royce is able to help Tom avoid the exposed turnbuckle by putting the pad in front of him. Then Yano charges in, Tom moves, and Royce removes the pad, sending Yano into the exposed turnbuckle. So another corner pad now is removed as Tom gets sent into that one. Tom then gets sent into Royce, who was on the apron, and Yano rolls up Tom. I thought that might have been it, but it was only for a 2 count. Tom then hits a striking combo, but Yano slingshots Tom right into the exposed turnbuckle. Tom is just barely able to kick out in time. Tom then just barely able to block a power bomb right after that and hits some nasty leg kicks that takes Yano down. Yano throws Tom into the turnbuckle, but again, Tom kicks out. Then Yano tries 3 low blows in a row, but none of them work. Tom then hits the nasty knee to the brain for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Filthy Tom Lawler. So Tom pulls a cup out of his pants to celebrate and show that that's how he was able to absorb the low blows. And Tom also walked out of this match with his DVDs back and Yano's DVD, along with keeping his G1 alive. That takes Tom Lawler to 1-2. Tom's next match is against Bad Luck Fale on Sunday, and Yano joins his Chaos teammate Ishii as the first 2 men eliminated. Yano's record drops to 1-3. So we've got more B block action tonight, as we've got 5 matches, remember. So last time we had the 5 matches, it was A block that got 2 matches. Now it's B block. They had the opening match where Ishii was eliminated from B block and Redo Khan got on the board. Now we've got 2 more men tied in their record against each other. 2-2 singles record. It'll be Sanada versus Tama Tonga. So Tama and Sanada will do battle in B block tonight after a loss to Ishii at Korakuen. Tama wants to get back on track. Meanwhile, Sanada is on the right track after having won his last 2 in the G1. So and his last 2 against Tama as well. So another win will keep Sanada firmly in the hunt, but going even after 4 matches is something Cold Skull doesn't want. Conversely, Tama can't afford to reach the midway point with a negative record, having had 1 less match. So this should be a pretty nice, this should be a good palate cleanser after that comedy match before it. And even though it was a pretty good comedy match, you still need to get people back into a real fight here, and these 2 will definitely be able to do that. So this should be pretty good. Sanada comes out first, and he tells Archer that he owes him money. That was pretty funny. Then Tama Tonga comes out next, accompanied by Jado, and both men look focused for this one. So obviously, Sanada is probably going to want to keep the match slow. He might have the grappling edge over Tama, but Tama has shown that he's one of the best quick-paced offense. When the pace quickens, Tama is really good. So Sanada can hang with that, but I'm thinking that Sanada's better with grappling. So Sanada does start with grappling, but Tama shows that he can match him on that. Sanada then acknowledges that Tama has skill with the grappling, wants to shake hands, but it was a trap. But even though it was a trap, Tama is able to block the Paradise Lock, but then tries to put Sanada in the Paradise Lock, and that gets blocked as well. So now the pace quickens, but Sanada wins this exchange, surprisingly, taking that down. And now Tama is now tied into the Paradise Lock. Sanada hits a drop kick to break the hold, then applies a cravat and has it in deep. Sanada has done a great job so far, keeping it pretty slow. And the one time it did get fast, Sanada was able to get the better of it. We're now 5 minutes in as Sanada hits a running forearm into a snap suplex, and the crowd cheers for somebody or anything. I'm not quite sure who they're rooting for in this one. So Sanada now hits a striking combo, but Tama hits a big lariat, and that buys him a little bit time to recover after all those attacks. Tama now quickens the pace for a few attacks, and Sanada tries to slow it down right away, applying a headlock. Tama is able to get out and keeps the pace fast and takes control to get a 2 count then it's hard to put into words really what Tama does when he has his fast-paced running attacks, but just know that it's his best quality, and it's great and effective. So Tama then hits some strikes here, and Sanada blocks a Tonga twist attempt. Sanada then hits some of his own quick-paced offense here, showing he can do and match Tama Tonga with that. So Sanada shows his lucha skills as well, hitting a springboard to the outside. Now, that was on Tama, who bailed out of the ring from Sonata's great flurry there. So Sonata does not roll Tama into the ring quick enough to get a 3 count. Tama then counters a TKO into the Tonga twist, and both men are now down as we hit the 10-minute mark. So I'm thinking they both could probably go the full 30 if needed. It might be one of the longer ones. We'll have to wait and see. Sonata then dodges a corner attack, but Tama flips out of the next move and hits a nice Death Valley driver on Sonata. Tama now hits a top rope Supreme Flow, and Sonata was just barely able to kick out of that. It was more than halfway across the ring that he leaped with that splash, and it looked super powerful and effective. Sonata then blocks the gun stun attempt and locks Skull End in, but Tama is able to get out. So Sonata hits a springboard drop kick and hits the TKO now. So Tama is able to kick out, but is in trouble. Sonata tries to hit the Muda lock, but Tama is able to dodge. Then Sonata expertly counters the next move in midair. It was ridiculous to lock in the Skull End in midair. That's the Draken Sleeper here, and Tama gets to the ropes just in time to break the hold, but now Tama's super hurt. The crowd cheers for Tama to keep fighting, so maybe they were cheering for Tama earlier. I'm not quite sure. I think they just like both guys, but Sonata now hits nasty elbows to the jaw of Tama. This fires up the big man, who hits big elbows of his own, and both men are now getting rocked, going back and forth with these elbows. Neither of them go down, and now we're at the 15-minute mark. Tama hits the Veleno DDT for another close 2 count. Sonata was definitely rocked by that one, but is able to block the stun gun attempt again. Tama then flips right over, and Sonata blocks a Tonga twist. So Sonata blocks yet again another stun gun attempt, or gun stun attempt, and gets a bridging pin on that I thought was going to win the match, but Tama's just barely able to kick out. So Sonata had just blocked 3 gun stuns in a row and gets his great bridging pin, but Tama's able to get out of there and finally hit the gun stun he was looking for, and this gets the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, the good bad guy, Tama Tonga. So Tama now improves the 2-1 and will take on Taichi on the 9th in a week's time. So Tama will have a flurry of matches to end the block stage, having 3 matches to go. Meanwhile, Sonata falls to 2-2 and will take on Chase Owens on the 9th as well. So he will have a week to heal from this match and only have 2 matches in the same amount of time that Tama has 3. So not quite of the flurry of an ending. Really good match here. And that, speaking of flurry, the ending flurry was amazing in this match. So definitely check this one out. Both men are great when the pace quickens, and they were able to really show it there at the end of this match. Really good climactic ending. We go to our semifinal match of the night. It could have been the main event, but I understand why they didn't. And this is in C block, where Kenta will take on Hiroki Goto, and Goto comes in with a perfect 2-0, while Kenta comes in with a 0-2 record. Their singles record against each other is 1-1. So contrasting fortunes collide here in C block, as the top of the table Goto takes on the bottom of the pack Kenta. At one time, Kenta and Goto shared a mutual friendship with Shibata, and Shibata and Goto being high school classmates, while Kenta struck up a friendship later on at the dojo. So they've got a lot of history with that kind of stuff. This made Kenta's subsequent betrayal of Shibata as he joined Bullet Club a betrayal in Goto's eyes as well. This issue has led to them battling over the Never Openweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom 14, and Goto won on that night. Kenta would have the last laugh on the evening, however, as he attacked Naito in the main event and would pick up back a win against Goto in G1 later that year. So now the 2 men are definitely tied at the hip and also tied a piece in their career. So let's see what happens with their contrasting fortunes coming into this match. Kenta comes out first looking super focused. Goto and his great music come out next. Even Kenta said in the last backstage comments that he loves Goto's music. But what Kenta also loves loves is the bow staff that Goto carries, and he has even named Kenta has named the bow staff Jara Jara. So Kenta tries to reach for the staff, but Goto pulls it away right away, and then they lock up to start the match. So Goto gives a clean break, but Kenta attacks right after. No clean break from Kenta, and that is going to be a theme going into this match. Kenta is ready to fight and win this match by any means necessary. A loss for Kenta would put him out of G1. So Kenta attacks, not giving the clean break, like I said. Goto now fires back with a big shoulder tackle and applies a headlock. And Kenta is having a hard time getting out of this headlock. Goto takes him right back down when he gets up. Kenta tries a pin, but then the still is in the headlock. Kenta gets to his feet again, but then gets taken to his knees. So finally, Kenta pulls the hair, and that gets rid of the headlock. Kenta now has wrist control, but Goto counters into a hammerlock. Kenta gets to the ropes, but no clean break from Goto, who stays right on the attack, and then it reverses a hip toss into one of his own. Kenta has to bail the ring now. Goto has completely dominated the match so far. So Kenta then goes after the bow staff, and Goto attacks him from behind, sending Kenta back first hard into the barricade here. And then Kenta hits Goto in the head with the ring bell really hard, and the referee did not see it for whatever reason. A DDT on the floor now has Goto in big trouble. That ring bell shot has him, I was going to say wrong, but that's just too cheesy. But yeah, Kenta now looks at the staff again before going on the attack back in the ring, and now 5 minutes have passed. Kenta gets a hold applied, but Goto's able to get to the ropes, but Kenta hits a nasty back elbow for a 2 count. Then kicks Goto hard. Speaking of nasty, that kick to the back was hard. So Kenta gets steps on the chest of Goto, now talking trash, and this fires up Goto a little bit. Kenta counters the punch, however, with a drop toe hold. That was super nice, getting a headlock in. So the crowd's now cheering for Goto to get out. Kenta pulls the hair yet again to take down Goto as Goto was about to get out of the headlock. And Kenta then hits a haluva kick, but this seems to just fire up Goto, who comes back with a big lariat. And then a flurry of moves ending with a bulldog. Big moves here from Goto. So Kenta now fights back with strikes, and Goto fights back as well. Kenta's on the apron trying to suplex Goto out of the ring, but Goto blocks it. Kenta now hits his power slam in the ring and goes up to the top rope and hits a clothesline for a 2 count. Kenta now applies an STF right in the middle of the ring, and the crowd cheers loudly for Goto to get to the ropes. Goto eventually does, but he was caught in the STF for a long period of time. Right after that, Kenta hits some more nasty kicks, then stomps on the face of Goto, equally nasty. Kenta evades an attack, then hits another big kick right into the green killer DDT off the ropes. So Kenta has a great flurry here, and then now hits a running attack, but Goto evades the double stomp from the top rope, and Goto hits a lariat. So both men can now recover a little bit. Goto needed it a little bit more, but remember, Kenta had a bad start. So now they get up. When they get up, I mean, they start a forearm battle, and then they go for a pretty long time here. Kenta starts to hit multiple in a row, and Goto looks dazed, but Goto's able to hit a big headbutt to the chest of Kenta, knocking him down. Goto then hits a kick to the chest and an Ushigoroshi for a 2 count. Kenta blocks a GTR attempt and then takes down Goto as 15 minutes have passed now. The referee gets knocked down now, and the referee is down hard. Big shot to Red Shoes, the referee. Kenta goes over to grab the staff from the outside, but Goto blocks the staff attack and is able to get his staff back as the referee looks over. Kenta blocks another GTR attempt by hitting Goto with the staff. The referee had been hit before that, gotten knocked down again. So now the GTR attempt was blocked with the staff. Kenta hits a running staff attack right to the head of Goto. Now Kenta goes and gets the referee back into the ring, and Kenta does a double stomp from the top rope, but Goto has the fire inside of him to kick out at 2 there. So Goto then blocks a GTS attempt, but Kenta hits massive slaps, open hand palm strikes to the face here, and Kenta gets the psycho knee, but again, Goto kicks out. So Goto blocks the GTS attempt, and Kenta tries to hit it again, and he does. He hits the GTS for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Kenta. So we all knew Kenta was definitely going to win this match, and it was probably going to be winning by cheating. All of that happened, but it was still a good match. Kenta avoids being eliminated by going to 1-2, and Kenta will take on Naito on the 9th in another must-win match for both men this time. So Goto falls though 2-1, but he'll still have a good chance to win the block if he can get some more wins. He will definitely have to beat Zack Sabre Jr. in the next match on Saturday, one of the block favorites. So Kenta's now staring at the bow staff, but the Young Lions return the staff to Goto instead. So pretty good match there in the semi-main event. It's time for the main event, and it'll be in the D block. David Finlay versus Will Ospreay. So Will Ospreay coming in at 2-0, and David Finlay coming in at 2-1. Singles record between these two is owned by Ospreay, having 2 wins to 0 losses. For all of David Finlay's warnings to expect him, nobody did expect David Finlay to be in the position he currently is, halfway through his campaign with a positive record of 2-1 and the U.S. title in his possession. So, not quite owned by him, but holds wins now over Juice Robinson and Shingo Takagi. This is exactly where Finlay sits. However, going into a second main event of the tour, which is crazy to think about. So it's definitely time to look at the 4th generation fighter as more than the severe underdog against IWGP, former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, current U.S. Champion Will Ospreay. So this is going to be a great match here. Finlay does still reel from his most recent loss to Ospreay in the New Japan Cup 2021 semifinals, when a relentless assault on his bad shoulder would see Ospreay come through eventually to win both the trophy and the world title. So the Commonwealth Kingpin has earned a position of confidence and arrogance against Finlay, which has led him to rent some space in Ospreay's head, with the U.S. title being liberated from Juice as collateral damage. Finlay now has acknowledged that Will is the rightful holder of the title and will gladly hand it over if Will Ospreay beats him in Hamamatsu tonight, which might not be a straightforward task. So David Finlay comes out for his second main event of the first 10 nights of G1. That's pretty amazing for Finlay. And he comes out holding the IWGP United States title that Will Ospreay won, but has yet to ever touch. Juice Robinson was holding the title when it was stripped from him, and finally Finlay took the belt from Juice after beating him in the main event at Hurricane Hall. And Will finally touches the belt here as they start with a huge striking battle right after Will touches the belt. So when I say striking battle, this was a wild start. They throw about 30 punches in a 15-20-second start here, like a hockey punch, almost like on fast forward. And then the fight spills out of the ring, and Will hits a big chop. So Finlay fights back, and he bangs Will's face into the apron, then his back into the barricade. Finlay hits a European uppercut and rolls Will into the ring. Finlay then hits a nice snap suplex, and Will kicks out, of course. So Finlay hits a snap mare into a diving forearm, then stomps on the fingers of Ospreay here. Will is able to dodge a corner attack and chop the soul out of Finlay here. Back outside the ring now, Finlay gets slammed into the barricade hard, and Will slams him into the apron as well. Back in the ring now, Will hits a big headbutt, a scoop slam, and a knee drop, and Finlay definitely needs to find a way to stop this attack before it builds any further. Will hits another chop and then puts Finlay bad shoulder into a hammerlock here and stretches Finlay arm the wrong way in a nasty position. Will then talks trash to Finlay, who spits on Will now, and this makes Will super mad. He hits big stomps as we get 5 minutes into the main event. Finlay's now fighting back, but Will locks in the abdominal stretch. Finlay gets out and hits a nice back body drop, and then fires up with some running forearms in the corner and a nasty neck breaker across the knee. Finlay then hits a diving European uppercut off the middle rope, but Will's able to kick out and then talk trash as he's doing that. That gets Finlay mad now. He hits multiple headbutts, and Will quickens the pace here. He hits a handspring kick and a slingshot to the outside, so both men have a little time to recover now. Will then hits a phenomenal forearm, but Finlay blocks it, he got hit by the phenomenal forearm, but he blocks the Chelsea grin attempt here by Will into an Irish curse backbreaker. So they both end up now on the ropes after that, and they have a striking battle on the ropes. Ospreay hits a top rope face buster, but before Ospreay can dive off, Finlay rushes back up to the ropes, and Finlay hits a massive superplex that almost breaks the ring, despite neither men being super heavyweights or even close to super heavyweights. So it's been a really even match so far, but one hidden blade, and you know it's over. So that's something Finlay's going to have to look out for sure. Will now hits a nasty enziguri, then a springboard os cutter right onto the apron. So that looked phenomenal. Finley was standing on the apron. Will sprang from the inside of the ring to the out, hitting the Cutter on the apron. Ospreay then rolls in. Or wait, no, he rolls in himself looking for a count out victory, but Finley is able to get in at 19 with 1 second to spare. Ospreay immediately dives off the top rope with a great looking missile drop kick as Finley's getting in the ring, but Finley blocks an Cutter right after that. Will tries it again and it successfully hits the Cutter on the second attempt here. Finley is just barely able to kick out of this one. I thought it might have been over. Finley is able to evade and duck under a hidden blade attempt from behind as Finley then counters an Cutter as well with a picture perfect stunner in midair. So let's backtrack right there. Finley got hit with an Cutter on the apron. Back in the ring, he blocks an Cutter, but gets hit with it anyway. Kicks out just barely, then just barely able to duck under a hidden blade that would have ended the match. Finley then counters an Cutter in midair with a perfect stunner. What a great little flurry there and awesome stuff from Finley there. Finley now hits the acid drop, also known as the slice blade number 2, but Will's still able to kick out of this. Will then blocks a trash panda attempt and hits a nasty back heel kick. David Finley then again evades and ducks under a second hidden blade attempt after that heel kick. And then David Finley hits the trash panda and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall, the Rebel David Finley. Wow, the biggest shocker of the tournament by far. I saw Henare beating Tanahashi every day of the week. Some of these other things were a little surprising, but to me, this is the biggest shocker so far. The clear favorite against the clear, like, oh yeah, it's your first G1, but you don't have a chance guy, and you don't have a chance guy beating the clear favorite here to go into the lead. So that's the biggest shocker of the tournament by far. Everyone was shocked when the referee counted to 3 and Ospreay did not kick out of the trash panda. So Finley takes the top spot in the block at 3-1, and he has ELP next, and that is not until the 10th. So Ospreay now drops to 3-1 as well as Finley, but now losing the head-to-head tiebreaker. Ospreay will take on Shingo this Saturday, and Finley gets on the microphone now to address the fans or whatever. And Finley says, I don't care when or where, but the next time you defend that United States title, it will be against me, Ospreay. So take the title, but every time you look at it, look at this title and remember this night. Maybe you thought I couldn't. Maybe you guys thought I might be able to beat Juice, but nobody thought I could beat Shingo, and nobody in their right mind thought I'd beat Will Ospreay. But do you believe me now? I told you to expect me, so expect me. So then Finley left and go to the back. He had a few more things to say in the back. Finley says, I took his belt. I took the belt from Juice. Then, I don't know what I wrote there. Sounds like I'm a I took his belt from Juice and then I beat him. So it sounds like I'm a better United States champion than Will Ospreay. Nobody expected me to be on 6 points. I don't care who wins the other blocks. I will win G1 and then I will beat Jay White at Wrestle Kingdom. So great night for Finley. Finley getting not only 2 main events out of the first 10 G1 events that we've had so far, but Finley winning both of those G1 events, and in between that beating Shingo Takagi. So great start for Finley. It might all come crashing down and he might finish 3-3, but you never know. We never expected him to beat Shingo or Ospreay, and he's now done it. So it'll be really exciting to see what happens in D block, and I'm also just pretty much looking forward to everybody, although it does look like Okada and Jay White are kind of unstoppable in their blocks, leaving C and D to be the real competitive ones. But you gotta imagine Jay White and Okada are gonna get upset by somebody at some point, and it'll make things a little bit closer. So again, no Wednesday night show, no show tomorrow night. I will have a backstage comments video up either tonight or tomorrow night, but we do not have another G1 event until Friday night, and that'll start a weekend triple header. So it'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a lot of big things will happen. More people will be eliminated. Maybe more people will lose their perfect streaks. We'll just have to wait and tune in. I remember just off the top of my head that JONAH versus Jeff Cobb match on Friday is going to be awesome. So I'll be here for that. I'll be here for the backstage comments later today and every other event right as it goes live in New Japan. So check out my channel if you're a fan of other wrestling as well. I cover WWE, AEW, NWA, MLW, and Impact Wrestling. So give me a thumbs up and a subscribe to try and spread the word that we got a good community where we care about pro wrestling over here on this channel. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Peace, bros.